Thank you all for joining me today. My name is Jennifer Vincent, and I am a prospect development and fundraising analytics professional. Most of my career has been spent in prospect development, where I focused on prospect research and management. I joined the profession in 2008, and I had the privilege of helping to build and then lead the prospect development department at the University of North Carolina, Wilmington. I also have experience working for Blackbaud as a competency solutions engineer, where I focused on fundraising analytics. I am the president-elect of Apra Carolinas, and I'm due to step into that role in 2021. And I was asked to create this short Apra Byte to share some ideas for how to maximize your donor potential. Now, this is going to be geared mainly towards smaller shops and places that are looking for a way to walk up their annual donors to something more significant. I'm going to move pretty quickly through some techniques that I've used to increase fundraising efforts for major gifts, but if you have any questions, I'm happy to chat with you more, and my LinkedIn is on the final slide. I certainly did not invent these techniques, but they've worked well for me, and my goal is for you to leave this bite with hopefully a new idea or even renewed energy for an old idea. Before we dive in, I want to make sure that you have some method, any method, preferably an easy one, already in place for tracking prospects that you review. You need to be able to mark them as a yes or a no. There needs to be a date and some kind of a quick rationale for your decision. If you review a record and they don't look like a prospect, mark them as a no, include a quick reason why, and then add a date. That way, if they continue to give or if they have some other indicator that pops up, you'll have a date and a reason for disqualification, and you'll know whether or not you need to give them a second look. Whatever your method is, it should be visible and reportable so you can easily use it as a data point for disqualification in things like prospecting lists. Okay, now that we know our work won't be wasted, let's try to find some potential. As we all know, the best new donor is a current donor. So first off, you want to look at your current donors to see if you can uncover additional potential within those already engaged with your mission. If you have someone who fits into one of these categories, you may have potential to upgrade them to a major gift donor. So let's take a look at the categories. Consecutive giving is a powerful indicator, so you will want to start by reviewing anyone with consecutive giving. Look for at least 3 years of consecutive giving within the past year or two. Look especially at those donors who have increased their giving and bounce that against their capacity. Are they giving in line with what you would expect? Are they at the top of their capacity, or is there room to grow? This is pretty much like RFM prospecting. That's recency, frequency, monetary, where you focus on how much, how often, and how recently a donor has given. Constituency is going to play a role here. So if you are a higher education institution and you have an alum with consecutive giving, that's different from a current parent. That said, if a former parent is still giving to your college, they should still be considered a prospect. If you have custom models, these factors are pretty much always included to gauge likelihood and gift range because it is that powerful of an indicator. Gift size is an indicator for future giving. Major gift thresholds vary based on each organization, but most organizations say that a gift of $1,000 or more is an indicator for a major gift prospect. $1,000 seems to be the tipping point of buying into the mission of the organization. Again, capacity is going to come to play here. Are they giving at the top of their capacity, or are they way under capacity? That marker can actually give you an indication of their current level of engagement with your organization. If they're giving $1,000 to your org, but they have the capacity to give, say, $500,000, they aren't as engaged as someone who has capacity to give $1,000 and is donating that entire capacity to you. And remember, for those high dollar folks, if they're giving to you, they likely give elsewhere. The goal, of course, is to draw more support to your organization. Now, I don't have time to dive into the specifics of donor advised funds, DAFs, but I suggest that you learn more if you're unfamiliar and make sure that you're tracking these in your database. Not only the gift itself, but the individual behind the gift whenever possible. DAFs are wonderful during times of market changes because the money has already been given, and it's not like an endowment. The money in a DAF is meant to be spent. It has already been set aside for philanthropy, and the intention is to distribute the funds. If you're able to steward effectively and tell the impact their gift makes at your organization, you may be able to convince the donor to give to you directly in the future. Cutting out the DAF and gifting directly to your organization means a larger gift and a more engaged donor. Remember, these are individuals who believe enough in the power of philanthropy to set up a DAF in the first place. Millionaires! Do you have any millionaires in your annual donors? If so, have you researched them recently? See how that ties into that qualification disqualification thing we talked about? Maybe the millionaire marker isn't the right fit for your fundraising department. And if that's the case, just figure out what number seems to be the magic number for your major donors and look for annual donors at the same level. After all, if they have significantly more potential and they're showing you that they are philanthropic, this is the exact group that you want to engage with development. And finally, matching gifts. You need to pay attention to the matching givers in your database. This is a group that can double or triple their philanthropic impact, and it's an easy way to increase fundraising dollars regardless of the gift amount. Matching gifts require that the donor take a second step of applying for the match through their employer. This means they believe enough in the power of philanthropy to take that second step to increase their gift amount. For that reason, they need to be stewarded for the gift amount plus match amount and celebrated at that higher gift level. When they do this, it makes it easy to identify an employer who matches. Try to see if you can find more constituents in your database that work for the same employer, and then include the gift matching information in your solicitations. Keep in mind, matching gifts mean that lower capacity donors can actually be major gift prospects. For instance, if you have a major gift threshold of $25,000, that's $5,000 over 5 years. Pretty standard. If you have an employer who matches at $2,500, your prospect only needs to have a $2,500 capacity, not a $5,000 capacity, in order to be considered a major gift prospect. If their employer doesn't match at a level that's high enough to create a major gift, a good strategy can be to have them create an annual scholarship with the match, with the goal in mind that when they leave their company for a better job, one that should hopefully be paying them more, they're going to want to continue paying towards that annual scholarship at the full amount, regardless of the match. Make sense? So now that we have a good list of major gift prospects, how can we make sure that we're maximizing our potential? The 1-2 solicitation works really well in higher education, and I'm sure you can apply it to other areas as well. A fast and easy way to increase fundraising dollars is to ask for an annual gift and a major gift at the same time. Sticking with the idea that your endowment threshold is $25,000, as we said, that's $5,000 a year over 5 years. Instead of asking them for $25,000 over 5, ask them for $30,000 over 5 years, where $5,000 of that goes towards the endowment and $1,000 goes towards an annual scholarship of the same name. Not only have you added another $5,000 to your fundraising dollars, your donor will be able to meet their scholarship recipients within a year of giving, rather than having to wait 6 or more years for there to be enough capital invested in the corpus to pay out the scholarship. By the time their endowment is fully funded, they've had 5 years of stewardship concurrent to their giving, 5 years of scholarship dinners and interacting with recipients. This means that once their commitment is paid off, you have the chance to resolicit them much faster. In fact, since they're already in the habit of giving at that level, why not just keep the good times rolling with another commitment to either double their award or double the number of students that they're able to help? You may come across a situation where you have a prospect with lower capacity but high affinity, and they can still be major gift prospects, just as planned or deferred gift prospects. The standard technique for finding deferred gift prospects is to look for those with a long history of low-level giving to your organization. They may not even know that they can make a deferred gift and receive credit for it now. You can also target your alumni or annual donors who are entering their 70s and start conversations or solicitations focused on alternate gift options. The current tax laws require anyone aged 72 and up to take a required minimum distribution, an RMD, from their IRA. This can sometimes be income that they don't want, as it can kick them into the next tax bracket, where they'll be taxed at a higher level. They can avoid counting the RMD as income if they divert it directly to your organization. Another option they have is to name your organization as a beneficiary in their IRA. This can help their estate and their heirs avoid heavy taxes when they pass. Okay, so say you have a long list of long-time low-level donors, what do? Well, step one is to engage them with development. Reach out and let them know that you appreciate their long-time support. Then you're going to want to find out if you're already in their estate plan, because you might be. And I'll dive into more of that in the next slide. Your development may find out that they don't have the capacity to make a major gift, either now or in the future, and that's okay. You can still benefit from your relationship with these longtime supporters by pulling together a story of what in your mission made them want to be these longtime donors. You can have that story circulate and use it to inspire others. It's a really great tactic and a really easy way to engage with people to show why somebody else has been a longtime supporter of your organization. So there really is no downside. And finally, to wrap up, I want to review what to do if you find out you are already in an estate plan. The first thing you want to do is document their intention and record it in your database. You will also want to make sure that you have a gift agreement on file so you can honor their wishes. They should be added to the appropriate gift society and stewarded accordingly. You have just scored a major gift with very little effort. Congratulations! But you aren't done. You now need to assess their capacity to see if they can make a major gift during their lifetime. This is a loyal donor after all. If they don't have the capacity or the inclination to make a major gift, see if they would consider supporting their future cause through an annual gift. Kind of like the old one too. Say they are endowing a scholarship with a gift through their estate. That is wonderfully generous, but they will never have the chance to witness their generosity since it only comes through after their death. If they would consider an annual scholarship, they would be able to receive the thank you notes, meet the recipient, go to the scholarship events, and enjoy their philanthropic commitment during their lifetime. And who knows, after a few years of an annual scholarship, perhaps they'll be ready for you to ask about a major commitment during their lifetime. If not, you can at least be assured that they will keep you in their estate plan, having seen the impact that their gift can make. So this is all I had for you all today. There's much, much more that I would love to talk to you about, but I'm trying to keep it short. I want to thank you so much for watching. As I said, I've worked for over a decade in prospect development, during which time I've had to rebuild pipelines from market crashes and natural disasters. One big lesson I've learned during times of uncertainty is that while you will see prospects dropping out of the pipeline, you will also see prospects stepping into it. You will see supporters raising their hands, and it's up to you to call on them. I hope that some of the techniques that we talked about today can help. I also want to encourage you all to join your local APRA chapters if you haven't already done so. These chapters are putting out some fantastic content, and they're working hard to engage with professionals in prospect development in your geographic area. It is really a great way to get to know others in the profession who live nearby. My email's on there. I'm happy to talk to anybody, so please feel free to reach out. And thanks so much for watching.